Sorry about that, I had to give my youngest a bit of lunch. Just gonna have to grab a wall tool. Yep. Just using a bit of talcum powder so that it doesn't stick to my tool here. So I've used a partial translucent and partial green mixture so that when this bakes, the white color that you see in the leaf mixture is actually going to turn kind of a crazy clear, almost like the color of a translucent milk jug, and it makes kind of a really unique wet effect that kind of gives a little bit more realism to the leaves, makes them look a little bit more alive. I don't know if you guys can hear Frozen in the background. You okay, monkey? What's up? What's wrong? These guys are pretty fun to make, and they're super easy. They can look really realistic afterwards, especially if you have pastel chalks to, you know, add a little bit of highlight, a little bit of shadowing on the ends of them. But I have some, so I will show that when I'm finished putting this piece together before it goes in the oven. Trying to always keep the next layer of leaves directly opposite of the previous layer. So I've got a pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I want to cross it by you know, splitting the difference in between, but still maintaining that very symmetrical 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one being across from each other on each individual layer and being dissected or bisected by 45, each layer going up, if that makes sense. Well, and these ones we don't have to do anything special with. Just roll them into sort of an egg shape and then flatten them out. And then we just make sure they got one nice pointy side and one nice raindrop bottom. Try to make sure they're all relatively the same size. And then we just take the bottoms of 2 of them, pinch them together a little bit, make sure they're nice and joined, and then 2 here on the outside. Bring them together a little bit. Drop that guy right in the middle. Sometimes I like to take a bit of liquid polymer and drop it in there just so that these guys don't leave, but the clay's nice and warm and pretty sticky, so it's not going anywhere. Just fold that guy out a little bit, and there you have a fun little succulent cactus. And you can add these into, you know, all sorts of really weird places. Like this can be a necklace. This be a pretty bulky one, but you know, you can drop these inside your aquarium and create you know, fun little aquarium gardens underwater that your fish will probably neither care nor love, because fish don't really feel that way about things, but you can enjoy it. And you know, we can ask Ted, Ted's kind of the supervisor of fun fish related decorations, and he'll be the judge. But for right now, I'm just going to grab a paintbrush. And my super cheap Amazon set of pastel colors. And pastel chalks can be pretty hard, and you can't really just pick up pigment with just by touching the brush to it, or very little pigment, not as much as you'd like. But I'm gonna try anyways. See what happens. No, I don't like that color. And I'm going to grab a little bit of this sort of purple pink, and a little bit of this more red pink, because I think pink and green make great contrasts. And I'm just going to try to mix them together. And then you come in here and just give the tip of these guys a little color. And this color will actually sort of leach permanently into the clay. It won't go anywhere after you bake it, and so it's safe to go in the fish tank or an aquarium space when you're done. It's always a good idea to give these kinds of things a quick wash after you're done baking them fully, just to make sure there's no powder or residue left over. But for the most part, I've never had a problem dropping cured polymer into multiple different fish tanks. Like my Plecostomus, my giant Plecostomus, he is not very sensitive. It's very hard to kill those fish, so I mean, adding plastic decorations that are unknown to his aquarium is okay, though the chance of it making him uncomfortable is very high, which is something that I've always tried to avoid. I never like to put anything in my fish tanks that I don't know is safe, but I've also put polymer creations that don't have any, you know, fancy paint or glue or anything on them in with my Sunburst Tetra, and they are really sensitive fish. I mean, you can kill them just by changing their water too fast, just through like osmotic shock or whatever, but they've never had a problem with the addition of polymer polymer decorations. The reason they say that polymer decorations aren't food safe is because they're very, very porous, and that porosity builds up bacteria, and it can't be removed. So using polymer clay for things like direct skin contact or eating is not the safest, but when it comes to fish tank, porosity is actually what you want, because it gives lots of space for the beneficial bacteria to colonize your decorations and make for a healthier environment for your fish. So polymer is considered to be fish tank friendly. And just because I got a bunch of this on my fingers and then accidentally got it all over my white base, I'm not going to get it off, so I might as well just add some more. Okay, well, I mean, other than just a couple of little things here and there, I think we're pretty safe to throw this guy in the oven. Make sure that these all have a cute little point on them because it gives it a bunch of character. Yeah, you don't want them to be too sharp, especially if you're putting it in the fish tank. And polymer is still relatively soft, but you would not want one of your fish running into these and accidentally getting injured. So just make sure to just dull the ends of them before you bake these. You want to bake this guy for about 20 minutes. I even say like 10 minutes in 2 intervals at about 210 degrees. But I mean, I never follow the package instructions on the original Sculpy, just because it never quite bakes right. I think whoever tested that was a big dirty liar, or never made anything out of polymer, because baking these guys at 250 degrees for 15 minutes usually ends up with like severe scorching. They turn black and get all burned up and shrink and do all sorts of weird melting, not so much fun stuff. I just gotta make sure to have some nice gradients of color. I put the darker pink underneath, and you'll see it show up in a couple of small spots, and then the bright pink on top just to really contrast. And the pink with the green just really pops and gives it more of a realistic look. So yeah, let's get in there and take a look. Oh. Aha! This thing is not much fun to use. But that's it. Well, if you guys like it, check out the page. Be sure to follow us or like the page. there should be more videos in the future. And thanks for watching.